Hello, welcome back to my kind of open journal channel on healing, consciousness. White boy appropriates Hindu Vedanta philosophy channel. I was on a hike and it's raining, and now I'm sort of trapped under the tree canopy, so I figured that I would try and see if some stuff that I've been journaling about in terms of my own exploration on this question about what is consciousness and what is human existence and human life, like the nature of it. Hopefully you can hear me over the thunder and the rain. I talked a little bit in some of the past videos about ego self versus true self. And, there's different, models of consciousness that people can subscribe to. You can identify yourself as your actions. Well, I guess you can identify yourself as like what you have and how you present externally. You can identify yourself with the history of actions that you've performed, the choices that you've made over the course of your time in your human body. You can identify yourself as your thoughts and feelings over the course of your time in your body. And I guess I've been, just giving thought to the particles within you. They predate the point in time at which they came together and bound to each other in order to become the body that you inhabit. And, there's the law of conservation of matter. So depending how you understand that, every particle within you has been around since the dawn of time, of this material reality that we exist in. I did recently watch a video about how over the course of the entire history of the cosmos, maybe the law of conservation of matter is only like local to the epoch in which you exist, that as reality expands over the course of its history, that maybe at the super duper macro scale of time, that maybe that classical model of the laws of physics, the governing laws of reality, that at the super macro time scale that they might not actually work the way that we understand. I mean, this gets into sort of quantum time-space models that not me, people smarter than me are currently reckoning with. But I guess put a pin in that in terms of whether matter can be created or destroyed. Holy moly. But still, regardless of whether matter can be created or destroyed, the matter that makes up you predates you. For whatever reason, at a certain point after you were conceived, after you were brought to term, after your birth, at some point in your infancy, something came online within your nervous system of an individual consciousness that perceives itself as one unified thing, perceives you as one unified thing. I think this is ego. Ego is individual identity. Ego is, I am this person who takes up this body, separate from the rest of this cosmic soup of particles. Woo, it's really coming down. Which is kind of wild. I mean, I could be wrong on this, so if you know better in terms of empirically verified scientific facts, hit the comments and let me know, or I'll maybe put like an about page on my YouTube page, and you can have give an email that you can reach out to me at. But as I understand it, it's not even like that the same particles remain you eternally, right? Like just the nature of that you continue to create new cells, and like take your skin for instance, right? You create new layers of skin your whole life, and the old layers of skin shed off. So that's different skin cells made up of different particles, and the particles that used to be part of you are already back in the soup. Same with your hair, right? That's like a form of excrement, I guess, and eventually any given hair that you might grow gets shed and replaced by a new hair, or that follicle dies. But so pieces of the universe that used to make up you, or be component parts of you, return to the universe while you're still here. So we are all kind of a ship of Theseus individually, in terms of there continues to be a you, or I guess this is where we get into like the woo-woo spiritual, like that this idea that you are a unity separate from the universe is kind of an illusion, because you're not separate. You are some of the particles in the soup temporarily assembling together to temporarily create a body in which there's a nervous system, in which for whatever reason, this is something I want to hear about from other people actually, because for me it feels like when I think about the question of who am I and what am I don't feel like my organs, for instance, my internal organs of my body, they feel like that they're over there and I'm over here, like I feel like I'm situated right here behind my eyes, in between my temples, that there's that's where the consciousness, the thing that's witnessing all the events and actions and choices of this body, right? The witness to the stream of consciousness that this body is experiencing, I feel like it's situated right here, this formless consciousness that I would identify as actually me. Whatever, me being an illusion of something that's separate, I am the same way that my liver, I guess, is part of me, but is its own individual organ. I am an organ of the universe, if that makes sense, if you're following. But then if you choose to look at it from the empirically verifiable way of looking at it, like the obvious thing is the obvious thing that I am an individual and I'm separate from everything else. The thing that seems like you shouldn't even have to like logically create a defense for why that's the case, because just look, it's so obvious that that is what the situation is. That's the thing that, when you think about it too long and too deep, is the thing that actually seems like it must be an illusion and makes no sense. And I don't think, I guess where I've gotten to is I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's duality and non-duality are both simultaneously true in a superposition with one another, despite being contradictory. yeah, I mean, this whole, whether you want to look at it as a, that reality exists is kind of something, whether you look at it from a scientific perspective through what's empirically verifiable, or whether you look at it from a spiritual perspective, it kind of doesn't matter, because when you get down to the extreme scales of, let's say, the size of matter or whatever, it sort of makes no sense. Like, we are on a planet that is orbiting a star, so a solar system, and for whatever reason, our solar system is clustered with other solar systems in a galaxy, and for whatever reason, that galaxy clusters with other galaxies to form galactic superclusters, and then there are superclusters of those superclusters, and then there are gaps, there are vacuums, there's intergalactic medium between these galactic superclusters that is like the lowest density space that we know.